They say aging is a privilege, but let's be honest, it is totally rude. One day, you're this adorable twink, thriving, glowing, and just bouncing around town. And then suddenly your forehead is an issue. Your energy tanks by 3 p.m. and you're asking legitimately, like, why can't I wear a muumuu to the pool? So today, we're gonna do something that's a little bit different. I'm gonna be hooked up literally to my very first NAD IV drip while sitting down with someone who knows the world of anti-aging inside and out. Dr. Brandon Ramsey is a board-certified family nurse practitioner and the co-founder of Heal and Glow in San Diego. He's not just injecting faces, he's helping people reclaim their confidence, redefine what aging well looks like, and he's doing it all with intention and heart. We're going to be talking needles, drips, and yes, some of those poisons that help keep you looking like you're walking around with an Instagram filter on all day. But this is not about chasing youth. It's about choosing yourself in every season and showing yourself a little love. So, if you've ever been curious or confused, or just have some questions about what an aesthetic journey might look like for you, this one's for you. Let's glow.
The Humning podcast is all about the imperfect art of being a human, where we learn from wellness practitioners ways to heal, love, and grow. Brought to you by Zavora Marketing, the agency for mission-driven healers. You got into this work to make a difference, but staying afloat in today's digital world can feel overwhelming. Zavora helps you focus on your mission by building a steady stream of ideal, cash-paying clients to finally create the thriving practice you envisioned without compromising your values. Visit zavoramarketing.com today.
Give me a little bit about your background here in San Diego.
So I'm Dr. Ramsey. I moved to San Diego about 2.5 years ago after I graduated with my doctorate in nursing practice. I've worked in trauma and emergency medicine prior to moving here. And then I started out in family practice. And over those years, I've been doing some work in aesthetic medicine, really becoming trained in, Botox, fillers, and then everything that comes with aesthetics, including your metabolism and, skin treatments.
Okay. And so you opened up your new Heal and Glow Wellness Center here in San Diego last month?
Yeah, finally. It's been a work in progress. So my mother, Sandra Ramsey, she opened up her own practice in Nevada over 2.5 years ago, which started out in primary care, where her specialty was, and has slowly transformed through aesthetic and psychiatric care as she has her postdoctorate psych certification.
Did you guys go through school together?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about the timeline.
Separate. Yeah. So when I was in my undergrad, my mom had been going through her grad school to get her first nurse practitioner degree. And then she later went on to get her doctorate and certification in mental health or psychiatric medicine. Okay.
So what was your sort of motivation for wanting to go through medical school and get your doctorate?
So actually, as a kid, my mom worked in all fields of medicine, and she would always tell me these interesting stories, starting out in the ER, which I was most fascinated with. And there were so many different stories she was telling me and how she changed these people's lives or what they went through. And I always thought that was such an amazing thing to do. I could go into a field of work, get paid to do things to help people on a daily basis. And so that always fascinated me and encouraged me to go into nursing.
Okay. Which you were the first person I learned have a doctorate in nursing. So you're a doctor of nursing. I hadn't heard of that before.
Yeah. So I think it's becoming a bigger and bigger thing for sure. But you can practice as a nurse practitioner with your master's, and then you can get your postdoctorate as well to help solidify other fields of nursing in your specialty.
Okay. What is this stuff again?
All right. So this is NAD. It's a coenzyme that's used in almost every cellular process in your body, which is super important because it's needed for cellular regeneration, cellular repair, improving your energy. So by infusing this in your body, you're going to replenish your NAD that is used everywhere. Mm-hmm. So as we age, it's a natural process that we slowly decline in NAD over our lifespan. So by infusing this, you're going to replenish that and give you back that youthful feel and energy.
Okay. You mentioned it just a minute ago, but let's talk about some of the side effects of NAD, the treatment like I'm getting right now.
Common side effects you'll hear from patients will happen if it's typically infused too quick or if they're new to it. So we like to infuse it slowly to avoid these side effects, but you might feel a little nauseous. You actually might feel a little fatigued at first just because you're ramping up your cellular production and reproduction and energy. When you're infusing NAD, it's going from having a lower amount to a much higher amount. So your body's adjusting. So you might feel a little nauseous, a little fatigued. You might feel a little facial flushing or flushed because it does dilate your blood vessels and increase that blood flow. These are often minimal and rarely seen, but they can happen, and
I'm very hot right now.
Okay, really hot?
Not
okay.
really hot, but I'm acutely aware.
Okay, yeah. Those are usually the common side effects.
I'm on camera. Maybe that was a bad idea.
That as well. Yeah, all of it together. Do you want me to turn it down?
No,
okay.
And so does our body stop producing this?
No, it's just a natural part of aging that you just slowly start producing less and less. And your body uses less. So it's just a natural part of aging.
But I see it all over. I mean, I first learned about it from TikTok, where I learned a lot of stuff. Yeah. And apparently it's all the craze in Hollywood. A lot of celebrities are using it. So what are the benefits of this type of a treatment?
Biggest benefits that I hear continuously is getting rid of that brain fog or that natural fog that I think people tend to get as you get busy with life, family, work, everything, and just that continuous having to think on a daily basis. So it really gives you some clarity. And I often hear that with patients. You get a boost of energy, you feel more youthful, feel less stressed, can help stabilize your mood and really keep you from reaching those higher stress levels with everything going on in life. So I find it super beneficial, and I've seen super great results with patients.
Great emotional internal stuff. Tell me about the external stuff though.
And then, it's going to give you that boost of energy and that skin that your skin needs. So it's going to help with that cellular turnover and give you a more youthful skin, give you some firmness, some hydration, some structure. To help ultimately reduce those fine lines and increase that hydration in your skin, give you that glow that you want or that most people strive for.
Right. Yeah, because I have not done very well taking care of my skin.
As most of us.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have a good skincare routine or anything like that. So I'm noticing it more and more as I'm aging. And I look at, my parents or whatever, and I'm like, okay, we don't want that. So what are some things that a person should be doing just on a daily basis to kind of take care of their skin?
Well, I think the most important thing is to not overdo it. Don't overly stress about your skincare and keep it to the basics. With skin, you want to keep it hydrated and you want to clean it, cleanse, have a daily cleanser. So I always kind of push my patients to at least keep a daily cleanser to keep your skin clean, and then a daily moisturizer, and make sure that your skin is hydrated and that it has the nutrients it needs to, have that turnover and give you that new fresh skin.
Okay.
And keep you from getting those fine lines and that firm skin or overly firm skin.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the draggy, droopy kind of look. And, since I started doing this podcast, I'm seeing myself on camera and in certain angles, and I'm like, oh, do not like that, don't like that. So, it's definitely a journey to, improve. But you guys are unique in your practice in that you work on the inside and the external. So your mother in particular does a lot of mental health, working with people with depression and other mental health conditions. So is there a sort of a ideology that you have about, how you feel on the inside and how you are looking on the outside?
Yeah, well, I think it's super important to not only feel good on the outside, but you need to feel good on the inside first. You need to feel good about yourself and your emotions. We all naturally go through changes in our life, and you might not notice, but you might have some chemical imbalances that need to be fixed. So we want to look at it as your body as a whole. So not just treating the outside or the physical look, but making sure that you feel good on the inside. And a big part of that is your emotions and what you're dealing with in, your daily life. Are you having stresses? Because stress can also increase your rate of aging and the ability for your skin to look good. So, there's so many different factors that we want to make sure that you're being treated for, and not just the physical part on the outside.
Yeah, but when you say, are there stresses in your life? I don't know anybody who's not stressed out.
Exactly. Yeah.
So and I asked your mom this, but how do you know if you're experiencing a healthy level of stress and in just normal day to day, or if it's more severe and, you're dealing with depression at some point?
Yeah, exactly. So I think, we're all individual. So we're all going through different things in our life. But if it gets to a point where, you feel like it's unmanageable or you feel like something else needs to be done, then, come in, get checked out, talk to my mom, talk to someone, because we also have an on-site therapist as well, a trauma therapist. So, we're always going through different things, and sometimes it's always good to have an unbiased opinion or someone to talk to figure out how we can best manage these stresses, or maybe add a medication that can help stabilize those moods or stresses, at least even through a certain amount of time, or, continuously, at least to get you through those times in your life that you're finding super stressful.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I have a life coach and stuff like that. And I always find it's always good to have that person, whether it's a therapist or whatever, just to bounce ideas off of, or just, like an hour spent on you, which is kind of what this treatment is right now. I mean, your patients come in for a few minutes to an hour for whatever treatment, and it's kind of just about them, right?
Yes. I think it's super important to make sure. I think when it comes to aesthetics, it's not just asking a patient, hey, what do you feel like is wrong with you? It's more so just listening. What do you feel like just in general, inside and out, and not just asking them what can we fix on the outside. So making sure that they're heard and you're listening to them and understanding what goals they have in mind, and not just what is wrong.
So what's a typical inpatient interview like? If you're not just, because yes, you see the TV shows where the girl goes to the aesthetic practice, or the person, and they mark up her face or whatever, and that's obviously humor. But what is it that you're looking for? What is the experience like figuring out what type of treatments a person should be doing?
Yeah, and I think that's always individualized. So, oftentimes patients will come in and say, what do you think I need done? And
that was going to be my next question.
And it's more so about, what are your goals? We all have different goals. We all have different ideas of what looks perfect to them, or good, or great, or what is a glow to them. So, oftentimes I'll start with that question, and then we'll kind of trickle down from there. But I think it always comes down to, feeling comfortable on the outside with their skin, and then the inside as well.
Because there's a lot, because that was literally the question I was setting up to ask, because there's a lot of stuff I want to do. I know you do fillers. I want to do under the eye. I've got blotchiness. I want to get that taken care of, and then stop my forehead from moving, because you and Andrew's foreheads look amazing. So, those are the kinds of things I'm like, okay, let's do these kinds of things. Is that pretty benign, or is that excessive, or what would you recommend?
I think it's, again, always individualized, because some of us age differently, or, there's different environmental factors that are going on that can increase aging or decrease. So, and volume loss. So what I like to do is ask patients, well, where would you like to focus on? Where do you feel like there's something that you would want done differently? And, as we age, we lose volume, we lose elasticity, we lose that collagen. So I like to say that your skin's kind of like an Oreo, and that filling in between, we naturally lose with age. So as with most of these treatments, we like to bring back that collagen, bring back that elasticity, give your skin that hydration that it needs, and decrease some of that muscle movement so that we can reduce some of those fine lines or some of the larger lines, and give you back some of that volume you need as well.
So let's talk specifically about some of the treatments that you have, that you can help perform on. So fillers is one.
Yep.
What is that, and how does it work?
Filler is a hyaluronic acid, which is a natural component in our body. So it can bring back some of that volume loss that we all naturally have as we age, or if there's certain parts of your body you just want natural more volume with. But so that's a good go-to for just bringing back some of that volume loss in your face. And then the next is neurotoxins or Botox, Dysport. We like to use that to reduce the muscle movement, to avoid some of those fine lines, focus on those fine lines.
Okay. So you have a lip flip, and that's, what is that?
So that just is going to reduce your muscle movements right above your lips here. Is the easiest way to put it. And then when you smile, instead of those muscles moving, you're going to have all the other muscle movements. So it kind of just gives you that natural plump lip, top lip, that a lot of us like to have, rather than like a thin lip. It can give you just a natural, more plump looking lip when you smile. Or if you are prone to more having gum show when you are smiling, it can also reduce the amount of gum that is shown when you're smiling as well.
Interesting.
Okay. So a lot of cool things you can do with the products.
Yeah.
The other type of filler we offer is Sculptra, which is a polylactic acid. It works different than your traditional filler. It works by boosting the collagen in your face or wherever you place it, and bring back that firmness, hydration, and give you more of that plump glow look. So that's another amazing product that we have, and it's become super big. Sculptra is a big go-to, as it has amazing results.
And so that's an all over face type?
Yeah.
Thing? Okay.
Yeah. Well, not your forehead, but mid face and your jawline and cheeks and things like that.
Okay. Explain to me what microneedling is then.
So microneedling, the premise of that, or the backing of that, is that it's causing a bunch of micro trauma to your skin, which is going to cause that cascade of healing and regenerating the skin. So it's using your body's natural healing process to bring back that natural looking skin, or that glow and that firmness, hydrated skin.
Okay. And is that the bulk of the treatments that you have?
Yeah, and then chemical peels as well, which is just using like traditional TCA chemical to just bring back that top layer of that skin, and then have you another, similar to microneedling, it creates that healing cascade to bring back that fresh new skin.
Okay. So if somebody's worried about like blotchiness or a red face and hyperpigmentation,
rosacea, sunspots, or dry skin, acne, it treats so many things related to the skin, and it's really good for most people just to have that initial layer of skin taken back, and then having that new layer of skin come in and look fresh and new.
So this particular treatment, so how much NAD am I getting?
You are getting 250 milligrams. You can do up to 500, which is a typical dose.
Okay.
As you're starting off and you're new to this, I just wanted to start at a lower dose and a lower infusion rate, just to make sure that you tolerate it well, which is normal.
Yeah.
And then, you can go up to 500 milligrams, which takes longer to infuse. You want to infuse these over to a 2 to 4 hour period.
Wow.
Or 4 hours can be standard for some of those larger doses.
Really?
Yeah.
So you would have a patient in your office for 4 hours.
Yeah, sometimes, just to make sure that they're comfortable and they don't have any adverse reactions to it.
Yeah.
And then as they tolerate it well, you can kind of speed up that infusion.
And how often should a person typically get
I'd
something like this?
recommend, if you've never had it before, to really get your NAD back to those natural levels. You can do once every week for the first month, and then after that once every 2 weeks, and then after that you can come in once a month, or you can base that off of how you're feeling. If you feel like you're in a good state, then you can do less treatments. If you feel like you're at a super stressful time in your life, then you can increase those infusions just to help get you back or balance you through those.
So once a week and then monthly.
Yeah.
That's okay. Now here's the big question. How expensive is this stuff?
It ranges. So a 250 milligram infusion of NAD is $250, and then a 500 milligram infusion is around $450.
$450. Okay.
Yeah.
And how quickly would you ramp up to a full 500?
We can go after your first session.
Oh, okay.
And then if you've had it done before, we can also start at 500 as well.
But that's potentially
Yeah.
$500 a week.
Yeah.
For
that's it is an expensive product, but it's also a very beneficial product, which I think that's why it became so big on TikTok and other social media platforms. And another thing why celebrities are doing it, because it's super beneficial and it's a powerful tool to have.
What's the difference between doing a drip infusion like I'm doing and then just like a direct needle infusion?
Yeah, so an infusion is the slow and diluted form, slowly infused into your body. And then the other is a push, where they just push the medication quickly into you, which can be done with NAD. It takes more caution and less than an amount.
Because I've seen this being sold mail order, and they'll send you the vial and the needles and everything like that. So what is that? Is that the same thing?
So that's going to be a push rather than an infusion, rather than doing an infusion at home. And then they give you the instructions on that, how to push those. But they're typically done in lower amounts than what you see done during an infusion.
So a much smaller dosage, but you can essentially do it weekly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that, what's the benefits and, the difference between, doing it at home or going to, a professional esthetician?
Right. So the biggest difference is with the push is that it's going to be lesser of an amount of NAD, but you're going to get it quicker, and it makes it easier that they can just send it to your house and you can just inject it yourself. On the infusion, you're going to have a higher concentration of the NAD, and you're going to have like prolonged experience or treatment from that, and it's going to last longer typically.
It does seem like, by the way you were describing it, it moves through fast. Like if you have to get treatments, weekly and then monthly, like it doesn't necessarily stay in your system very long.
No, yeah. As you continue to age and your body is usually using all these different processes, you're just going to naturally use up that NAD, unfortunately. So that's why you want to keep getting it done, to keep your levels at a good feeling well level.
Do you mostly deal with people who are looking to look great on the outside, feel good, feel and look younger? Why are we scared of aging the way we are?
I think, ultimately aging means death as well. As you age, we're getting closer to death, but also as you age, I think most people think that we decline in how our physical appearance and, how we emotionally feel as well. So that's why I think there's so much stigma to aging, but naturally we're all going to go through it. So we're all going to experience aging. And I think the most important thing to do is to put time and energy into focusing on aging well, or promoting positive experience for each stage of our life. So, and that involves, putting time into sleep, into a skin regimen, making sure that you're emotionally satisfied and physically as well. keep those things that keep you happy and keep those on throughout your life, to help promote a positive attitude, which can ultimately help you feel better as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's, I think that's powerful. And I think it's something that we forget, or at least I had forgotten it, for a while. And then I woke up one day and like, oh crap, this is a dumb way to live. And it was just like, okay, let's start really leaning back into health, better food, trying new, supplementations and stuff like that.
Because it all works together.
Yeah.
What we eat, what we put into our body, what we do on a daily basis, exercise, or are we sitting and watching TV? It all comes together, and it all matters to your health and your ultimate well-being and aging. The more time and energy we put into that, the better outcome we're going to have. So I think it's always important to tell people that to focus on your diet, focus on your exercise, focus on your emotional being, as well as your physical interactions you have. Like, whatever can make you feel better, do that, because it all matters in the process of aging and how we feel on a daily basis and for the rest of our lives.
Which is, I think, so cool in how you guys approach your practice at Heal and Glow, because it is a holistic look at how are you feeling, how are you looking, like all of that type of stuff. And that's one of the things that I really got passionate about with this area of profession, unlike a traditional primary care physician who can't really spend a lot of time with you and is just looking at one or two things. You guys are looking at the whole person from the beginning, and that seems like it shouldn't be novel, but it is.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's definitely becoming more increased in acknowledging those different aspects, but I think that is something important that I was raised with, and something that we're implementing into our practice now, is that, not just focusing on one part of these people's lives, but looking at it as a whole. What are they going through, and how can we help to make it better?
What is it like? You guys don't work together, but being a partner with your mom in this practice.
It's super empowering,
Yeah.
I think. And times I get that from people that are new to the clinic as well. They think that's such a great aspect to have. It allows for it cultivates an atmosphere that's welcoming and loving, and to make sure that people feel comfortable. Because when patients feel comfortable, they're honest with you, and you can work together to come up with a treatment plan that best suits them, rather than, looking at one-minded and maybe a biased approach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you need that honesty, and it's sometimes difficult to come by.
Yeah, yes, it can be hard to come by, but we're all go through different things in our life, so I think that's always important to take in. So if you find if a patient that's maybe a little nervous at first or a little uncomfortable, see what you can do to make sure they're comfortable, or what you can do to understand them better. And that's mostly by keeping an open mind and asking questions and being involved, and show that you actually care and are empathetic to what they're going through.
Yeah. Interesting. So, how do you entice people to come in and try aesthetics for the first time? I obviously saw this NAD treatment on TikTok, was super curious about it. But you've got a whole host of different treatments that you can do. What is it that people are mostly coming to you for, and how are they finding you?
They're coming to me for various different things that we offer, and I think that's super great. But I think the most important thing is educating them on what the product is and how it can help them, and then listening to what their goals are, and then mesh those together so that we can find the best treatment option or plan for them and what's going to give them the best outcome.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to try to find the way to ask this, because I really want like a treatment option or a path for me, because, there's things that, while I'm on this journey, I want to fix. Obviously losing some weight, getting back into the gym, cutting down on alcohol. But then once those things are done, it's just like, yeah, there's some bags under the eyes I want to take care of. There's the blotchiness I want to take care of, all that type of stuff. So, what would you say to me? How would you approach that conversation? If I come to you and I'm just like, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this, and this, would you be like, chill out, queen?
Well, I first would talk to you through each of those products and the best way that we can use them to reach the goals that you want. Mm-hmm. And then also it's important to know that your skincare and your regimen and anti-aging is all going to be a continuous process. So it's not just going to be a one-stop shop. You're not going to come in for one thing and it's going to be done. We're going to need to be working on this for the rest of our lives. We're always going to be working to improve ourselves, so that we'll just figure out what we need to do first, or what your goal is and what we should do first based off of that, and then go from there, and then, make it a ladder. The next thing, what we should do next, but just know that it's always going to be a continuous process. It's never going to be a one-time thing and one and done. We're going to be continuously trying to figure out what we can do next to make things better, or to get to the goal you want.
Which is a form of self-love and self-care is self-love, right? I mean, that's the thing I think some people have definitely missed in society, is like how to take care of yourself and why that's so important. If this is not a one and done and it's a journey, then that's a journey of the self, right?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, how are you going to help someone else if you can't really feel great about yourself? You need to feel good about yourself first. And that's what we want to do here. We want to make sure that you feel good about yourself so that you can go on and help others or do what you want to do in life, because we're ultimately going to hold ourselves back if we're not to where we want to be or feel great about ourselves.
But even the way you just described kind of that long-term progression in care feels like a really good business model, because it sets the patient up to have a relationship with you long-term. And it's not like that predatory, again, that the meme of a person getting Botox or getting their face sliced up. That is a one-time thing. This is more of a long-term care relationship with an esthetician that they trust.
Yeah. And I think that's the important thing, is, them seeing you and trusting you, because trust is the most important thing. So they want to trust that you're going to give them the best care and get them to the goals in the best way possible. And also thinking about cost effectiveness. So I never want to push more than what you need. So how can we get you to those goals in the most cost effective way as well?
Because it's a thing.
Yeah, exactly. It can be expensive, and so that's why you want to work. You want to work with them to figure out what their goals are, and then together work on a treatment plan that's going to also think of cost as well, because that is part of it as well.
Yeah.
Part of their treatment plan.
One of the treatments that you offer that we haven't touched on is the weight loss injections. So tell me a little bit about that and how you kind of incorporate that into a person's lifestyle.
Well, we don't all, but I love food. It's it's a hard thing to overcome, and semaglutide has become an amazing product for so many people. It can help reduce some of those OCD habits that we have as well. But when you feel good and you're eating better, patients consistently say they feel better, because another part of medicine is we like to treat the gut. So people don't realize that what we put into our bodies can have so many different systemic effects throughout our body, different organs. It affects all the organs of our body. So eating well is a super important component to your overall health. So that's why semaglutide can help you develop better eating habits. And also we like to provide education on what you should be eating and some of those foods you should be avoiding. But, we all like to eat some of those foods. So it's just about finding a balance, and semaglutide can help you find that balance and get you to where you want to be, which again can help you reach all of those goals.
Which it's great hearing you frame it like that, because it's not the solution, it's the tool.
Yeah, exactly. It's using that tool to help you get to those goals. We don't want you to just stop eating, because that's not good for you as well. But it's to help you. It's that tool that's there to help you develop those better eating habits, or finding those solutions to certain bad eating habits you had.
Yeah.
We all have them.
So I was on it pretty much all of 2023, lost a great amount of weight, looked amazing, it's awesome, got to go shopping, got new clothes. But when I stopped taking it and I didn't go on a maintenance program, which was dumb, after the holidays and stuff, I just instantly fell back to some of those bad habits. And most of it has come back. So now I'm like, okay, got to do it again. But it seems like I may not have been doing it as correctly, because I was just treating it like this is the thing I do on Thursdays and it's going to make me skinny. And I wasn't changing my lifestyle as much as I probably should have.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why it's also important to be talking to your healthcare provider as you're going through it. And that not just that you're reaching your goal weights, but what kind of eating habits are you having? Are you maintaining the amount of nutrients that you should have on a daily basis? Or are you just not eating for long periods of time? Like, really talk to your healthcare provider to understand what habits you're developing and what can be done to develop better habits. That's why I think it's important to always keep that open communication, and that it's not just about treating and paying for something that you're not just paying for a medication, you're paying for developing a better lifestyle habit.
Which then is a good argument for coming in and seeing a professional and having that relationship and forming that working, healthcare regimen treatment, as opposed to just ordering something off of Amazon or in the mail and shooting yourself up in the gut.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I think that's why it's important to maintain those relationships and not just, and we're all different. Some people can benefit from that and have done the research or maybe are aware of certain habits they need to be doing along with it. So maybe that's beneficial for them. But if this is something totally new to you, or you're not completely sure what you should be doing or how it should be done or what the goal should be, then make sure you talk with a healthcare professional and someone that can really talk through those habits and dietary changes and things like that. Do you
do a lot of dietary stuff with
yeah, in general.
Yeah.
It's very an overview or surface level.
Right. Because you're not a nutritionist.
But we can provide referrals, and we actually work. Right now, we work with a cat who's also a trainer, and specialized. She can help you develop an exercise regimen, and from any walks of life, and then also help you with some of those eating habits as well, or dietary changes that you should be making.
So again, it is a holistic approach.
Yeah, we want to make sure that you're sent to the right people and are being treated, correctly, and it's not just here, but we can refer you to other places that may be also beneficial to your care.
So how often have you done this treatment yourself?
How often myself?
Yeah.
I've only done it once.
Okay.
It's, I like to save it. Once the clinic picks up and some of this stuff is just on hand,
right,
that will be different. But this stuff is like prized possession. So
yeah,
it does not last that long when stored. So it's like when you order it, you need to use it pretty soon or significantly. It's not like immediate, but it's not as long as Botox and some of those other things that last in the fridge.
Those will last for a while.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's an easy one, in terms of getting patients in. Like, I feel like Botox is an easy one. And then you can have that conversation about, you should be planning out maybe for a whole year of what a person's health and wellness regimen would look like.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's, most people come in for some of these more common treatments, and then you can kind of educate them on some of these newer treatments, including like Lumenvi, which is the PDRN or the salmon DNA. Also another new trendy treatment that's great for your skin.
What's that one do? I forget.
That's another, helps improve cellular regeneration, improve that skin tone, firmness, hydrate your skin, give that cellular turnover so you have that new skin, and give you that glow. It's a great treatment.
Because everything you do is like an injectable or skin treatment. You don't do any sort of cutting or anything like that.
No cutting.
No cutting.
Leave that to plastic surgeons.
What would you do anything, or what sort of recommendations would you do for somebody who has like a double chin or something like that?
Well, we can try and tighten those up as much as we can, and then reduce any of the abdominal fat. You can do some of the, we don't do. That's the other thing, is like some laser treatments to help burn some of that abdominal or some of that adipose tissue. But they say up to about 80% with injectables, that you can get up to 80% of what plastic surgery can do. But then there's that 20% where some of that, you're just, plastic surgery is going to be the best goal, or it's going to be the best treatment option to maybe cut out some of that extra skin or get rid of some of that adipose tissue.
So injectables can do up to 80%.
Roughly.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
That's what they say.
So it seems like...
And really, we can do a lot. And you see that in the treatments, that, how effective they are. But then, as we age, there is ultimately going to be that extra skin or that extra fat that we just cannot get rid of. And the quick or best solution might be plastic surgery.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, the Mitch McConnell turkey neck thing. Don't want that.
Yes, none of us do, right?
So if you were going to just, and this is general, and I know your answer is going to be like, it's going to be different for everybody. If you were going to budget a year of treatment, what do you think a person should maybe think about in terms of setting aside for their overall wellness and skincare and rejuvenation?
I mean, I feel like a quick ballpark answer to that would be a few thousand.
Okay.
And I know, a lot of us are money conscious, but when it comes to your skin and the longevity and thinking about anti-aging, it is important to invest in some of these treatments or products to really reduce aging and improve your overall skin, which can help you in the long run. So it is important. It's a good investment.
And it should be something that you invest in, obviously, before, sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, a common and bigger aspect of medicine is prophylactic, and I think thinking about things that you can do to help reduce some of those parts of aging should, be part of what you're investing money into. Yeah.
Prophylactic, isn't that thing you put up your butt?
Prophylaxis is just a medical treatment to avoid you having some medical conditions or illnesses later on. So prophylactically doing some things to reduce some of those conditions or outcomes.
Got it. So not sticking something up your butt.
No.
Just checking.
Could be if you want it to be.
The other thing that you offer is vitamin hydration.
Yes.
Which I'm always fascinated by. And so I've done the vitamin IV infusions at other places, and the thing that I love about it is by the end of it, colors are so bright and beautiful.
Oh,
I
wonder what kind of IV hydration.
Right?
Yeah.
A little psychedelic one. No, that he was just like, yeah, your eyeballs are dry as hell, and you finally got liquid in them again, so you can see again.
Hydrating. Well, most of us never drink enough water. Like, that's just a natural part of life. Even when you think you're drinking enough water, you're probably not. So that's why I think just simple IV infusions every so often, at least once a month, maybe if you can, it's really good for your overall health and keeping you hydrated. It's because, hydration is such a huge part of your overall health.
And what is infusion that you have that you use?
So I offer Liquivita's IV infusions, which have different components and different kits, but I think overall they have some simple infusions with B12 and other amino acids that just really give you a simple hydration and overall feel great.
Yeah.
Some of those can be more individualized depending on what your need is, but I like to just have like a generic IV infusion to give to patients, especially if they feel like they don't drink enough water.
Which we don't.
Yeah.
How can people find you?
healingglowwellness.com, or you can follow us on Instagram and give us a direct message. But we always love people reaching out.
Yeah. And you are hoping, I would assume, that your new patients are coming in and sitting down and creating a treatment, like a long-term sort of treatment program with you.
Yeah, and not just a one-stop shop, but overall thinking about how we can improve your health or whatever you're looking for in the long run, and not just, one simple treatment.
Well, I'm excited to be bouncing off the walls with my new NAD.
Yes, I'm excited for you.
And so I should, if I wanted to really keep this up, I should probably do.
Yeah, or
every
just do it
couple of weeks.
as you need, whenever you're maybe feeling a little sluggish or fatigued or stressful.
I have been feeling sluggish and fatigued for years.
Yeah, me too. So it's always good just to throw these in every now and then to help you feel more replenished and revived and energized.
But again, with a full-on attempt to be kind to yourself with your diet, with your exercise, with all that type of stuff.
Everything else, make sure that you're giving it your all or putting some effort in to think of it as a whole.
Yeah.
You're all working together to keep that health.
Brandon, this has been fun. I'm excited, and thank you so much for hanging out with me and talking about aesthetics.
Thank you for having me. This has been amazing, and I hope you love your NAD. Yay.
All right, that's it for today's episode of the Humning Podcast, brought to you by Zavora Marketing. Want more wellness? Grab a free guide that goes deeper into today's topic at humn.ing/episodes. And if you're not already following along on Instagram, I'm over at human.ing, sharing more behind the scenes, reflections, and ways to keep humaning through life. Okay, it's your turn. Go human the hell out of today.